Teddy, I have another question for you.
Sure.
Actually, there will be two questions. The first one would be, how do you experience your mind, and what is that dialogue that you have with yourself?
Yes. So it's hard to say what goes on in every single person's mind. Something might be going on in your mind that is not going on in my mind. We all have our ways of experiencing ourselves. So, but in general, a lot of people experience the mind as this internal dialogue, right? That's going on, and you're asking yourself questions, you're commenting on your own actions. It's almost like you're a spectator of your own life, and then you're commentating on your own, you know, adventures in this world. So it becomes kind of noisy because sometimes that inner voice seems to be going in your favor, sometimes not so much. It seems like there's something inside of you that is kind of like against you. Sometimes you don't trust your own thoughts. Sometimes you feel like there's like something guiding you and like an inner voice talking to you. So we all experience the mind differently, but in general, we all have this sensation that there is something else out there. Like I'm here and I'm interacting people in my life. I'm interacting with people in my life, but then there's another layer of this whole interaction with the outside world that it's almost like another person, like a shadow person, is like having these conversations with you. So people may label this different ways depending on what kind of cultural or religious or philosophical influences that you grew up under. But in general, there is a distinction to be made between all the different aspects of these thoughts that come into your what we call mind, right? Which is often associated with brain function, right? Because it sounds in your head like voices speaking verbal language to you that you can understand. So we automatically think that this is some sort of, brain activity, just stuff happening in your brain. But as the book would highlight in many ways, there's more to it than that. Okay, there's more to the mind that is beyond brain function. So there's parts of that dialogue that is your inner self. There's parts of that dialogue that is your higher self. And there might be part of it that is just you kind of regurgitating or processing what's happening to you in the moment. So there are different aspects of that dialogue. And over time, as you learn to understand the mind, you start to see the distinction between the different levels of communication that you're receiving from what we generally call the mind.
How can one find peace of mind in a world full of stress and uncertainty?
That's a great question. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are different levels of communication happening in your mind that you're interpreting, or your brain is interpreting as this chatter that you're having. It's almost like you're having this endless conversation with yourself. It's not one thing. It's different aspects of your mental makeup that is communicating to you and trying to get your attention on different aspects of your life. So sometimes that voice is guiding you to something. Sometimes the voice is trying to warn you against something. Sometimes it's just allowing you to process your emotions as you're going through, different chapters in your life. Now, how can you find peace of mind? Because yes, we all get tired of the chatter. How do you find peace of mind in a world that is full of stress and so noisy? Basically, you have to come to terms with the different elements of that chatter, right? Understand what is really trying to get your attention, or where you should be directing your attention. Because we get so distracted by everything that's going on in the world that we forget to pay attention to that inner voice, to that inner self. And that inner self will continue to try to get your attention until you respond in a way that aligns with the message that's being sent to you over the years that you've been ignoring. So I guess to find peace of mind, you have to learn how to process that communication and understand where the forces are guiding you to, so you can align yourself with it.